Purchase your I Am Melanin Magic products today. You can still use the Loc Channel coupon, LOCCHANNEL, for 20% off now. Welcome to our channel, I Am Melanin Magic. If you want long locks,
luscious hair, radiant skin, want to look and feel good,
then I Am Melanin Magic is your brand.
I Am Melanin Magic,
and so are you. Hello, welcome to Tanesia's Locs Beauty Tips and Potpourri. Welcome to the channel, beautiful butterflies and perfect people, perfect just as you are. I am Tanesia Ali, and I am here to talk with you about things that are related to your sister lock, micro lock, or tiny lock journey. But today in particular, I'm going to vent about the 3 things regarding the Sisterlocks hairstyle, brand, journey, whatever, that just kind of some perturb me a little bit, but also mystify me when I think back to what I didn't know when I came into this journey, and things that also will double as things that I think you really might want to kind of know. You probably already contemplated these things. Some of you have tortured your beautiful souls over them because you've gotten the short end of the stick regarding these things. And others of you may just want to know more because you're embarking upon this wonderful journey, which I want to reiterate, you will never look back from. That's if you make the informed choices that you need to make on the front end, and if you have some idea about some of the things that you might run into along the journey that could be very problematic for you. If you heed those things going in, the likelihood of you having a more successful Sisterlocks journey is a lot greater. If you haven't purchased my book, Manifesting Your Masterpiece, and you resonate with my energy, go and purchase Manifesting Your Masterpiece on Amazon. You can get that book, and I can guarantee you, if you're all about increasing your frequency, raising your vibration, getting a larger slice of life, living well, and shifting your mindset, whether you're shifting out of a victim mentality or whether you're dealing with coming face to face with some of the things that you struggle with as an individual that you need to really begin to get in the ring with or triumph over in order to have a better life, get that book, Manifesting Your Masterpiece. It is not a chapter book. It is an easy read. You can read 1 page a day. So if this looks like a video, y'all, that y'all want to dig into, let's go ahead and dig into it. All right. And I said as I did more of these videos, I was going to show my hair more. And this is, I digress for a second, but I can't help it. You see those little things? This is why I tell people, anybody who thinks they don't have lint, you are out of your mind, you're in denial, or you just don't know, which makes you ignorant. And that's not a bad thing. But as long as you're living in this world and you are alive, and you in fact are, this is the best way to see lint. And that's why I have you all to sit in your car on a sunny day. Because right now, behind me, I've got these huge windows that I'm facing. And the sun is coming in from this side, from the, well, it ain't your west really, but it's my west. And you can see it. This is how you know. Now, it's particles, it's lint. It ain't dandruff, I tell you that. And the reason why it ain't is because I use I Am Melanin Magic, okay? And I've been using it since I've been making it now for over, for my hair, over 8 years. And my hair is healthy. So if I'm doing what I need to do with it, I'm going to be good. Now, I get slack sometimes, and when I get slack, I know, okay? Because my scalp gets a little dry, or it acts up, or if that's not what I'm dealing with, then guess what else is going to happen? Hair may not smell as fresh. As if that ain't enough, it ain't going to grow as fast. You use that stuff 3-4 times a day, and I guarantee you, you're going to have to do something with your retightening schedule, all right? Especially if you mix it with some of those critical vitamins y'all hear me talk about. You're drinking plenty of water as well. Your hair is really going to grow. But anyway, yeah, you'll notice sometimes too in this summertime, like me, my hair grows faster. I go into sort of a restful period. In the wintertime, my hair still grows great, but it just does not grow as quickly. At least that's my observation. So let's go ahead and get into the content. All right. First and foremost, y'all, and you know, some is tiny pieces of hair. Some might look like lint. Some might be a couple flakes here and there. It's hard to say, but you can see it going on, right? Number one, this shroud of mystery around the Sisterlocks hairstyle, the brand, what the hell to do, how many damn locks you're supposed to have, what your pattern is, why these people, not my two locticians, who are doing hair. Matter of fact, who was that, the sister that reached out to me this past week? I wish I could think of your name, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. She's getting ready to, the lovely Joe Quetta. Shout out to you, my sister. Shout out to you too, Miriam. Sending you much love. Sandra Davison. Oh, Yolanda Berry, Angelica Giles, Alicia Williams, Sheila, my love, Sheila, Vicky Hall, and so many of y'all that are ordering from the I Am Melanin Magic website. But before you even started ordering, you were supporters of this channel. You all help hold this channel up. You all help make the work that I do worth it. Okay? Fauna or Fulana. Okay, I've seen your name somewhere recently, maybe in the comments. So, you know, this shroud of mystery, to the point to where my sister shouted out and she said, you know, I'm getting ready to do my own, I'm interested in doing my own retightening exam. And my loctician is acting funky with me about the kind of damn pattern I got. What the heck? Tell the sister her pattern. Why are you trying to hold her hostage? Okay, why? This is her hair. This is her life. I could see if it was a recipe that you was making for someone who loves your food and you wanted to hold them hostage, because the way to a man's stomach is through way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and you want him to keep coming back for that meal that only you can make. But y'all, this is not that. All right, this ain't that. This is, I need to be able to participate in my own rescue. I need to be able to do my own hair, and you're standing in the way and you won't even tell me the pattern. So she was asking me some questions, and I know I have a reverse 4 pattern. Now, I believe there have been a couple times, at least that last time I went to make, and it took me, we were almost halfway through, and I asked her about the pattern. I realized I didn't tell her the pattern, but it was on her to ask before she started with the needle. And because she didn't start with the needle, because she didn't ask, then she didn't give a damn. Or she was going to do whatever she wanted to do. Do you understand? So be mindful of that. But because of all this mystery around this, so Joe Quetta was asking about that. And I was just confirming for her that my pattern starts at the 9 and then you go counterclockwise, okay? So the big guys, the big 4, right? So you got your 9 over here, depending upon how you're looking at the screen. Then you got your 6, then you got your 3, then you got your 12. But now, when I used to first start doing my hair, shout out to the lovely Armada, the beautiful Armada. When I first started doing my hair, y'all, when I realized I had a reverse 4, and I was told how to go about the rotation, I realized when I was going in at the 9, I should have been, when I thought I was going in at the 9, because I would start at the 3 and go towards the 9. So here's the arrow. That's crazy, y'all. Y'all know what I mean. This is the arrow. Here's the clock. 12, 9, 6, 3. Because I would go in at the 3 and my target was the 9, I was saying that that was the 9, right? So, and then I needed to do the 6. So I would go up here to the 12 and go down to the 6. And I realized I was doing that all the time in the midst of having these fries to do my hair. And then I was like, oh crap, I've been going the wrong way. So y'all, I'm not spatially, when it came down to reasoning, God gave me linguistics. He gave me high definition thinking, but I did not get any spatial reasoning. So I was sitting there and I was trying to think. And so I wrote it down on the paper. Shout out to the lovely Shay. So I wrote it down on the paper. And I said, well, I was going this way. And I was getting all confused. And I was trying to remember what Armada told me, because we were talking, y'all, during the COVID time. And she mentioned something to me on a chat. I think we were on a chat or something. I did that Zoom call for the Sisterlocks for all of us. And I think she mentioned, she was kind of trying to share with me that I was going the wrong way. And y'all, I was like, oh, but then y'all know me. I'm a maverick. I'm a nonconformist. Later on, I was like, well, look, I've been going this way, da-da-da-da. But then I started thinking, well, shoot, I need to really figure this out. And I was trying to understand what Armada was telling me, but I couldn't get it because I don't have spatial reasoning. And then finally, when I sat down with the paper, I was like, duh. Even though I might be starting at the 3, the key was that I was going counterclockwise. So eventually I was going to get to the 9 and go to the 6 and then 12, but I might just be starting at a different place. So I was like, namaste, namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. So, but then I started realizing that anyone else that had done my hair, which was that lady, more than likely she was going in the way that she wanted to go. And so shout out to Joquetta was asking me what would be the harm in that. And what I feel is that when your hair is being wrapped a certain way, like I'm going counterclockwise, does it matter as much where I'm starting that at? Not really. Is it good to be consistent with everything? Hell yeah, but let's face it, you could be doing your rotations and you're retightening, and you could get to the point where you're like, it's too tight, I'm not going to do any more rotations. And then you stop. Do you give a damn if you're at the 12, the 3, the 9, or the 6? No. And are you going to know which lock it was or which locks it has been when you, which locks were stopped at a certain rotation when you sit down? No. Now, am I over your head and am I a certified loctician? No. Are they able to look down and tell maybe where it started or stopped? Potentially, yeah. If they're really good, most likely, yeah, they can tell. So it's in their interest to be detail oriented so that you don't end up having problems with your lock. Do I have holes? No, I ain't got no holes. Are my locks struggling? No, but what can happen and what probably did happen, all right, because I'll tell you, my lock's supposed to be a lot longer than this, y'all. I got to stop because I got to get back into I'm not even on topic. Let me stop. Let me get to the point. The point of the matter is, shout out to Joquetta, is if you've been going this way the whole time and you're growing that way, remember your hair starts to grow into the lock when it matures and it drops. And then you start going that way, you're forcing the hair to go in a different direction. It's going to lock up and experience a little bit of, like the pipes get clogged. So you're going to go the other way and then you're going to go the other way again. So it's going to kind of do like this. So it's not going to fall as long. I'm gonna go to the next point. So this thing about the mystery, number one, this thing Sisterlocks people have about keeping secrets, and that comes from the top down. It started with the brand making everything so mysterious, not explaining things, not wanting the general public to know basic things that they may have questions about, whether it's what the hell the damn tool is. And y'all know in my video of Sisterlocks tools for your retightenings, I talk about and show you 10 tools, 3 or 4 or 5 now, of which look just like the Sisterlocks tool, and based on some of your feedback are identical. Some of you feel that some of the tools are better. What's the problem now? So what is patented? Based on all the secret, I thought it was a tool. Now I'm hearing it was the grid. Here's the thing. Now we're thinking it's the process. The problem is, what's the big deal? God created a beautiful world. There is no competition in the world that I live in. There's enough for everyone because we live in an abundant universe. So there's no need. You can't have a monopoly on anything anyway. Why? At least of all information in this information age. So just share so that people are not operating in the dark, so that people understand what's going on. There's some locticians that won't even let you look with the mirror. And I tell you guys, if you're going to do this journey, there's some things you need to do when you're getting ready to get your hair installed. Check those videos out. But, some people would have problems with you actually looking and maybe even seeing, God forbid, 1 or 2 rotations. That's absurd. It's absurd. Why would you want the people who are the walking advertisements for your brand to be kept in ignorance? Y'all know, and y'all can answer that question. Under what circumstances in a capitalistic society do we want people to be kept in ignorance? Now, am I going to give you my recipe to this? No, this is proprietary. But I don't consider this the same. I can tell you what's in it. Hell, you can look at what's in it. I'm not trying to hide anything. Do you know the proportions? Do you know the secret things that I do when I'm blending it so that you can get this? No, but that's different. You know the essence of what's going on because you need to be able to determine, well, hell, I'm kind of, I can't deal with cayenne. I'm allergic to that. And rosemary, while it may deal with your dandruff, it breaks me out in hives. But that's a different situation. So that's one thing I don't like. I don't like that at all. I don't think it's constructive for the brand. And I think over time, that shroud of mystery, along with the brand not being the centerpiece for emitting information about the brand, talking about it, giving updated information. I hear they have a podcast. I could be wrong. If you know about that, let me know. But I know in between that podcast for the last few years and when I got my locks, there was no place you could really go and get any information. You could look at what Sisterlocks look like in that magazine they give, but you would have to have attended a class just to get the basic level of information. And that doesn't make sense because you have ignorant consumers. And ignorant consumers can be a threat in the workplace to the very thing that you're trying, or the marketplace to the very thing that you're trying to build. So I have some concerns about that. We should know some basic things. We should know how many locks, so-called, constitute having Sisterlocks. We should know, is it the tool? Because is it the tool that's trademarked? Is it the grid that's trademarked? Is what differentiates the process more the locticians? And of course, we all have our own views about some of that, and some of us understand it more than others. But that's kind of a big thing because, like I said, the own Sisterlocks locticians can't even get the damn tool. If they don't have their certification updated, which is not necessary every year if you know what you're doing and nothing is changing in the process. And based upon what I've heard from several sisters who have attended the most recent set of classes in the last 2 years, nothing is changing. And if it was, wouldn't we be able to get a video that was more than 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old? Wouldn't we be able to get a little more FaceTime? So maybe leadership will shift, or maybe leadership will be more open to dialoguing about some of these things, because we love the brain of Miss Cornwell. We love what you have given us. We love your creativity and what you've done. We're not taking that away from you. All we're saying, or all I'm saying, is that we're invested in the brand. We invested in you. We bought you in addition to buying the brand. And it'd be nice every now and then. Like, you're never going to see me step away from this and not be able to answer some questions. My magical hair growth serum. You're never going to see me step away from this if you have some questions about this one. And by the way, if you want to participate in the second tier of trials for the second magical hair growth serum accelerator, make sure you let me know. For those of you who love this one, you may want to try that one as well. For those of you who don't like the way this one smells, and y'all say you like the way it smells, but I don't. But this is the Quan. Send me a text, 678-438-6442. I'm looking for a few more people who would be interested in the trials for this, or the spray for irritated scalp. There will be a spray for that. There will also be an oil for that. Okay, and then also the moisturizing water-based essential oil spray. Let me know and put which one that you'd be interested in. I would love that. Again, 678-438-6442. Are there any questions that I won't? I've been using this, y'all, for 3 years, almost 3 years. Y'all could probably tell. My skin is better, and I've never had horrible skin except the entire decade, well, most of the decade of in my 30s and early 40s, because I had adult acne. And that's what started the love affair that I had with aromatherapy. But there's no secret to what's in this. I'm not gonna try to keep information from you, because the more that you understand, the more that you know whether or not this is for you. And why would I want you to have this if this is not for you, if it's not going to make you happy, if it's not going to be beneficial for you? All right. Or after you try it, you're like, well, you know, but I can promise you, if you try this on a regular basis, every now and then take a pause for a week or so, you will see the contrast. That's the anti-aging serum. Okay. It's still for sale, 2 for $75, which is a great sale because it's usually $53. Go to the site, IamMelaninMagic.com. But this shroud of secrecy, it works me. I don't think it's necessary. On to number 2, the risky nature of the retightenings. It is an at-risk ritual that you are bound by. Yes, it is an occupational hazard. If you have the Sisterlocks, the Microlocks, the Tiny Locks, or whatever, your retightenings could potentially be the thing that destroy your hair. Your retightenings, not just because of Sisterlocks. I'm talking about, I'll get into that. Y'all hear me get into that on a lot of my other videos. All right, watch the videos where I'm talking about retightenings and locticians and issues with Sisterlocks, and you'll see me go in on this topic. Why? Because I'm trying like hell to prevent that from happening to me, because I have bust my arse for the last 10 years to keep my locks healthy in the midst of repeated dying, in the midst of picking lint and pulling my ends off and doing everything else I can to jeopardize my hair. But on any given day, whether I have put this oil in or not, I cannot use this oil for a week. And if you see me out in the street and you ask to look at my scalp, you're going to see shiny hair. You're going to see healthy hair. Now, do I use it as much down here as I used to? Not as much as I used to at all. I used to really abuse it. But I believe that that's why my hair didn't suffer as bad as I've seen some people's hair suffer when they color it. Okay, and right now it is very soft. All right, but these things take time. They don't happen overnight. So this thing with the retightenings, yes, they are an at-risk necessary evil. Yeah, because it's repeated stress over time. It's pulling, it's tension. And if it's not being done right, or if it's not being done by an individual that cares about your hair more than beyond the money that you're paying them, or an individual who knows themselves what it's like to sit up in the chair and get a retightening, and they're rough on your hair, or they're telling you to come and sit in that seat every 4 weeks when you know good and damn well you don't need to be in there every 4 weeks, or when you don't feel like that's necessary, or maybe somebody's telling you every 6 weeks, and you're looking at your friend and you're like, well, how do you get to go 7 or 8 weeks? Or in my case, 10 weeks, 10, 11 weeks every now and then. And I've been doing my locks, y'all. I've been doing that since my very first retightening. After the first check, when she checked them, you know how they check them a few weeks later. My first retightening was at 10 weeks. But because I was new to the journey, I had lumps and knots in my hair. So don't do that in the beginning. But I got to a point in my journey where my hair began to mature, and I was able to do that. And I've been doing it pretty much ever since. It's only been within the last 2 or 3 retightenings where I'm trying a different schedule now. I'm going to go to 8 to 9 weeks. Every now and then, as I mentioned to you, it's always important to do something different, shake things up a little bit. It's important, okay? So I said, well, let me see what it's like to go every 8 or 9 weeks. And then I also know if I'm going to be practicing on doing my locks more, then it'll be easier for me to practice on them before I have too much new growth. But that's my story. It doesn't have to be yours. It doesn't have to have anything to do with you. But understanding that you don't need to be so obsessive about that grid to the point to where you grid it out so bad that your locks are tight. They're tight to the scalp, or somebody's going through your hair, a new loctician telling you they're going to clean up your grid, and they got the scissors and they're pulling hair and they just thinning the hell out of your locks. I don't think that's necessary. Again, that's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, and that's beautiful. That's why we live in a diverse ecosystem. You don't have to agree with it. That's my situation. I've been at this for a number of years. I've learned a lot in this journey, and I was an anal person anyway. I was anal retentive because I am a Virgo. Yes, shout out to the beautiful sisters out there that got Virgo placements. I got 5 of them. Thank God for spirituality and my right brain. Otherwise, I would be in trouble. And so would you. So that's a big thing, y'all. That's something you want to be mindful of. I go into that more about in my other videos. Get someone who, when you get up out that seat, you don't have a headache, your head ain't itching every time. I'm not talking about every blue moon something goes on and your scalp is a little irritated. And that shouldn't be happening hardly at all. I'm talking about every time you sit down in that chair, or every other time you sit down in that chair, it's too tight. Now, the onus is on you to let your loctician know, this is really hurting. But we have some locticians out there. Shout out to you, Armada. I believe you were one of them who said you expressed your concerns to your loctician, and she was getting an attitude. You had told her more than one time she had an attitude. If somebody has an attitude, you need to walk with your feet. You need to vote with your feet. That's why you will always hear me say, what I say, y'all, God bless the child who's got his own. I got to know how to do my own retightenings. Whether I do it or not is a luxury, but I will not be caught out on a limb in a foreign country somewhere, stranded, or doing this thing that we had over the last few years, or now I'm moved way out here to East Jablit, and for some reason, if I can't make that 2.5 that 2.5 hour drive that way, I'm up the creek without a paddle. That's not going to be me. I will always be able to self-serve. And I suggest you, whether you're in the business of doing your own or not, You always be in the business of self-serving, because I can promise you, here's a prime example. You've been on this journey, you've been at it for a while, you start noticing locks thinning and losing locks, right? Say you start noticing that. You've told your loctician a few times. You've expressed to your loctician that something's going on. Something's on your mind. Tell me. And you've told her, and it ain't making a difference. And you might even be losing locks during your retightening. And she's still telling you to come back every 4 to 6 weeks. And she's still pulling on them hard. Or she hadn't stopped to give you a plan other than to tell you to go see a dermatologist. I'm tired of hearing that, because the majority of these problems don't have jip to do with no dermatologist and no problems. They have to do with these retightenings and the repetitive nature of this style, period. With a T on the end. I would go to the carpet to say that less than 25% of people that are losing their hair with regard to this style have anything to do with your genome, with your DNA, with your hereditary, with some type of issue related to something that your parents had that would cause you to lose weight at a certain time. Now, I'm not denying hormones. I'm not denying bad health. I'm not denying other factors that can contribute to it. But what I'm saying is, I resent the fact that there are all these other go-to things instead of addressing what the real issue could potentially be. And that is that you need to get with your loctician. And even larger than that, the brand needs to get with locticians. And how long is it going to take before they implement some aspect to the training program that helps to educate people on the fact that you need to be tender, and that sometimes 3.5 hours or 2.5, I think one of you ladies said, an hour and a half, 2 hours for 500 some locks. That it's not about the speed, it's about the quality of the experience, and that long term. We're doing this, y'all, 2-3 times a year. Long term, you put yourself in a high risk category for all types of issues. And that's why I tell you, and this moves us on to number 3, the controversy over to oil or not. You better be putting something on your hair, whether it's this or some other beautiful product. This is I Am Melanin Magic. Some product on your hair that's going to be healthy for your hair, that's going to be all natural, that's going to fortify your hair, that is going to support your needs for maintaining moisture when you wet your hair, putting the kinds of things in your hair that may have some humectic capacity, that draw water in, that help to reconstitute your hair, that give your follicles what they need to help strengthen your hair in addition to everything else that you're doing. You better be doing something. Now, this is my thing, not because I'm selling oil, but because my loctician put oil in my hair day one. And her thing is, you have a lot of people that are out there certified just to do Sisterlocks, but they don't have a background in hair. They may not be a cosmetologist or master cosmetologist or understand anything about natural hair. They ain't got to be these two, but they need to understand about natural hair. And they need to what? If they don't have locks or have had locks before, they need to have some love, passion, joy, knowledge about hair beyond just that, even if they're studying on their own. Okay, it's important, people. And so just because when you go take that Sisterlocks class, like, there should be a component there where they have to learn something about hair. This is a serious piece, y'all. You know why it's serious as hell? Because long term, and that's why I had that thing in the thing a couple of years ago in my comment section, where I was asking you guys to click the link and let me know what your experiences were regarding the Sisterlocks brand and the journey and any hair trials and tribulations that you've had. Because, not to go after anyone, but at some point we need a collective of information, a database that says, you know what? I've had this style for that long, and I've been doing this because my loctician told me that. And the reason why they told me that is because the brand told them this, yada, 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 yada. And we need to be a force to be reckoned with, because this is not some damn shirt that I got from Amazon, by the way. This is a lifestyle. This is affecting every area of my life. I'm invested in this financially. I'm wearing this style. I'm embodying this style. For God goodness sakes, I've become the style, and so have you. And this style impacts your health. So we need folk to sit down and educate. We need people to be willing to take a look at the training program and say that this is not sufficient. Not only do they need a little crash course in business ethics, some people who may not already be entrepreneurs and they're just setting up shop and they got unprofessional ways of communicating and all this other stuff that drives you all crazy. But we need you to understand that an educated part of the course, it says these are some of the things that can be problematic. Not because of my brand and my idea and my ingenuity. We're not attacking that. We're talking about the way your little soldiers go out and do what they do. And the way we, also your little soldiers that are on the totem pole, do some of what we do. Beyond this either denial of it, the lack of acknowledgement of it, or this, cookie cutter thing, nobody needs oil. Listen, baby, I needed oil when I started this journey. I needed oil before I started this journey. I needed oil since I was a child. I need oil now. And I don't care what anybody tells me. And I'm so glad that I had a loctician consultant who knew. And my other loctician consultant, she puts oils in her hair. She sells oil. So listen, it's what you're putting in your hair. You may not need oil in the beginning, but at some point in your journey, as your hair care needs change, or the quality of water changes because you move somewhere, or your diet becomes deficient, or whatever it is, you're going to need something to help supplement the health of your hair. The same way, I wouldn't care if you never, ever, ever in your life had a relaxer and you had a natural fro. At some point, you're going to need to put something on it. With these locks, pulling and tugging on your hair, and all of this other stuff, I'd rather have oil in my hair than not oil. And so that's my number 3, to oil or not to oil. And I have a video that is called To Oil or Not to Oil. And I think you should watch that video as you make this decision, because it may not be something you're willing to do right away. And that is fine. You need to be putting something in your hair. And as such, the product that will hopefully hit the market next for you all by the springtime, God willing, will be the moisturizing spray. Now, because it's coming from me, it's going to have a little oil in it, but it is majority water and an essential oil blend. For those of you who want something even lighter, or for those of you who decide I need to listen to Joanne Cornwell and I need to do no oil. And this is visibly, it looks like water. All right. So these are the things that are my biggest gripes, or my 3 vents when it comes to the brand. These are things that I think are worth talking about. For those of you who've been on the channel for a while, you will see me do many other videos where I talk about the same thing, because to me, that's what's important. If I'm living on top of an earthquake vault, or I'm on top of some molten lava rock, or whatever it is, I'm under a volcano, what do they call it? Am I going to want to talk about the beautiful flowers every time the surveyor comes around, or the person who comes to do, not an archaeological dig, I'm not that one, but the person, the environmental person, am I going to want to talk? No, I want to talk about the threat to my damn house, and the fact that the earth could open up and swallow me in the house. That's what I want to talk about. And that's serious, y'all, because I want to keep this style as long as I can. All right. And if I start having issues that start to proliferate, I'm going to have to be ready to make some decisions. And so are you. And I guarantee you, your first go-to is not going to be, let me cut my locks off. And I guarantee you, your first go-to is not even going to be, well, let me not do the part where it's falling out. Let me just do everything around it. And you're not going to want to cut them, let alone cut them off. And many of you won't even want to stop getting your retightenings. So you better start and be ahead of the game and be preventive in your planning, and throw that breakdown maintenance stuff out the window. Fortify your hair, fortify your scalp. Think long term, okay? Because I don't care what I'm doing to my skin. When the seasons keep changing, and I continue to change within my body, at some point I'm going to need to put some lotion on my skin, because I'm washing with soap I'm in this, chlorinated water. I'm coming into contact with the elements. I don't care. The heat is on in my house. The air is on in the summertime. I don't have a dehumidifier or a humidifier, depending upon my personal circumstances and yours. You have got to be willing to supplement. For crying out loud, that's why we eat vegetables. Don't forget to get my book, Manifesting Your Masterpiece, if you are ready for a larger slice of life. For those of you who want the products, and they're quite a bit more. For those of you who have chronic pain, and you need something to help ease you and give you comfort and take the sting out or the edge off of any inflammation or painful, not open wounds, get the Ouch Magic. For those of you who need something to help you to relax and chill out, let's say you're taking something for sleeping at night, you wake up in the middle of the night, or you want to meditate, or you need to kind of calm your mind, put that chill magic here, put it here, put it here. Mommy uses this across here and on the soles of your feet, and it will help you to relax. May the force of God be with all of y'all. May you continue to be blessed. Keep sending the channel love, please, by chiming in the comment section for those of you who have love to show and want to add something as a personal story or narrative to the channel. Send me a 1 to 2 minute video, 3 at the tops. All you gotta do is film it right from your phone. Just make sure that you are facing the window so that the camera is in front of the window and you have natural light coming in, and just film it and send it to my WhatsApp. That's where I can see videos really good. Or upload it to Google Drive and send it to me as a link, and I would love to include it in our stuff. I'm going to do what I can this week. Shout out to Priscilla to do the editing that I need to do. She sent me a ton of lovely videos on how she uses henna, and I actually have this red henna that I want to try on my hair. I want to do the bottom parts of my hair, but I want to test it first because Priscilla's been doing this for years. She's a brave soul. Me, I had a horror situation with henna many years ago, and so I need to ease back in gently, although it was brought on by myself because I also used dye. So in all fairness, it was not the henna. However, I know that there's some other things that I'm a little bit more knowledgeable about at this time in my journey, and I cannot afford to be dealing with hair breakage, and this is my channel. That's the bottom line. I love y'all. I love you. I love you. Don't forget to catch it. And for those of you who needed an oracle message, a fated meeting. There is someone that is coming in or traveling towards you, and this person is a soulmate. You are supposed to cross paths with this person. Now, keep in mind, a soulmate could be a dog. Your dog could be a soulmate, an animal that you are a particular vibrational frequency for. You find that little baby sitting out down the street, and you know he's yours, and you recognize him, and he recognizes you when he comes into your life. You're like, oh my gosh. It could be a friend, okay? It could be a baby. It could be a lover. It could be someone coming back from someone who was in your life before, that 6 of Cups energy. It could also be someone who crosses your path to assist you in some way. Your attorney, or someone leads you to someone that's going to be an important link in your life. I love y'all again. Don't forget to comment. Please, if you support the channel, watch the videos from the beginning to the end, even if you just let it play while you do the dishes. It really helps with the YouTube algorithms. These algorithms, you guys, are very unfair. And it's the channels that spew hate, dysfunction, chaos, and nonsense that grow. So those algorithms, though, irregardless, are effective when you give thumbs up, when you comment, and when you watch the videos for longer duration. So if you made this to the end of this video, make sure you say I made it to the end. I love all of y'all. Bye.
If you are not using I Am Melanin Magic hair oil, then what are you using?
Hey guys, so I started using this oil called I Am Melanin Magic since February of this year, and check out the new growth. Like, it's insane. Not only did it help with my new growth, but it smells amazing too.
See the dramatic improvements Denisha has made after not having hair around her edges for 3 years. Tanya's hair had been like this for almost 20 years and while getting injections. Her doctor said it was scarred and would never grow back. After 4 weeks of using I Am Melanin Magic, this is what she looked like. I Am Melanin Magic did this to Danette's hair after a short time. Hi, I'm the creator of the I Am Melanin Magic hair and skincare brand. My vision has always been to develop a line of products that meets the unique needs of melanated people. The I Am Melanin Magic hair oil is our premier product. It is the leading high-end supplement for your mane.
It reduces breakage, promotes growth, and can be used on all hair types and looks, from straightened hair and microlocks to wigs and protective styles.
It's antifungal, antibacterial, and anti-funk, so you know you're protected.
It softens and conditions your hair, and it's anti-frizz too.
This really is all you need. It's rich with antioxidants, loaded with growth-promoting ingredients. Look at the growth of my hair. The proof is in the product. Need I say more? Don't delay. Purchase yours today.
I Am Melanin Magic,
And so are you.